Hello, church. Today I'm encouraged. I'm so thankful for how God is using us in the city. And I believe that He has many things brewing. I'm not even sure all that He has for us, but I know that the Spirit is at work even when we don't see Him. Romans 11:33 says this. It says, "Oh, how great are God's riches. Oh, how wonderful is His wisdom and knowledge. How impossible it is for us to understand His ways." I'm excited about the ways that He has invited us to come along with Him. Last week, we got a call that some of the kids were in need of some help with some technology in our schools. And they weren't getting schooling they needed because they didn't have computers. Their houses didn't have the income to be able to afford this. And because of your faithful and generous giving, we were able to go and to help them out. You can check out the article in the Lethbridge News now. That's just fun. When God's Spirit goes ahead of us, He's always on the move. And we've just begun our series on the Holy Spirit as we preach through the book of Ephesians. And amazingly, this coming weekend, we're going to celebrate Pentecost, the day we read about in Acts chapter 1 and 2, where we learn that about 120 of Jesus' followers were gathered in an upper room of Jerusalem, having recently seen Jesus depart and waiting for the promised Spirit. And when the believers were gathered, the Holy Spirit came on them with flames of fire and a violent wind. And these dramatic signs of power were precisely because the Spirit was empowering the church for the mission that Jesus had given them. In Acts 1:8, it says, Jesus called them to be His witnesses in Jerusalem and in all Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And we've picked up that mission. Jesus had known that His followers could only fulfill this mission. We could only fulfill this mission with the help and the power of the Holy Spirit. So He instructed them to wait in Jerusalem until they were given the Spirit. And the Spirit came. And just as the Spirit empowered Jesus for His ministry, so the Spirit empowered the disciples at that time, and the Spirit empowers us as well. At Pentecost, the church was empowered and expanded so that the mission could go on to meet all people groups. Now, in the Old Testament, God's work had centered mostly on the Jews. But at Pentecost, God expanded His kingdom to all the nations. The Spirit demonstrated this by enabling all believers to speak in foreign tongues they had never known, so that they could share the gospel with all the people from every nation under heaven. And Peter told the crowds in Jerusalem that day that the Spirit was being poured out on all the people, so that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Because of Pentecost, Jesus can now be personally present with every believer around the globe through His Holy Spirit. In fact, if you are a follower of Jesus Christ, the Spirit lives inside of you. He dwells inside of you. And the Spirit gives us peace, courage, comfort, guidance, everything we need for our walk and to lead other people closer to Him. Remember that today as you go throughout your day. Be mindful that the Spirit of God, the living God, the Creator of all, lives inside of you, and He wants to guide you and direct you throughout today, throughout this week, in all your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Pay attention to His guidance and direction. Walk in the Spirit. Trust in the Spirit with all your heart. Don't lean unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Walk in that way, church.